Welcome back, everybody. You know the channel, Level and Diecast. You know what we do here. We look at diecast. That's how we roll. Today I'm going to start a new series for you guys because I think this is going to be pretty popular. I think it's going to be pretty interesting for a lot of people. We're going to walk through every single world working rig to date. And today we're going to start out with the Pierce Firetrucks. We're going to do the 100-foot velocity platform and the quantum aerial ladder. So we're going to start with the aerial ladder. This first one is in San Bernardino County, Deco. When this first came out, it's kind of a bummer because there wasn't a whole lot of detail to it as far as like real working rig, and but it does what it's supposed to do, We'll pull it up and take a look at it. This was before they were doing the inkjet printing on some of these, so this is kind of like hydroform print, I guess you could call it, sort of. So the images are crisper, but I don't know. It's debatable. There's the front end there. Unfortunately, mine came with a little chip in the front there, but that's okay because I got another one right there. And you got to remember, I believe these came out in 2009, 2010, so this thing's already 11 years old. And being that it's loose, it's had a lot to survive. So you obviously have your ladder, and of course the ladder rotates. Get it focus there for you guys. There we go. And then, of course, this is a 2-stage ladder, so got quite a bit of reach to it. It's pretty nice. But like I said, not a whole lot of detail to it. Not a whole lot of detail. And then we'll just show you the base real quick. There you go. Pierce Quantum 75-foot aerial ladder. This is World Working Rig number 3. Copyright 2008. So this actually came out in 2009, I believe. We're going to set this guy off the camera. We're going to go on to the next one. This one is San Diego. Get that center a little bit for you guys. The one thing that I absolutely love on the original releases of Real Working Rigs is there was a lot of chrome. And trucks like this, especially the Firetrucks, they require chrome. You have to have the chrome. That's just the way it is. You Firetruck guys know what I'm talking about. You have to have the chrome. You just do. Obviously, when this line came out, this was a huge investment. This was a big deal for Matchbox. They were riding high. 2007, 2008, 2009, things were looking good. Sales were good. Things were fantastic. They were expanding. And in order to bring the working features to the somewhat 1/64 scale, this is what they came up with. And this was my favorite thing they ever came up with. So there's your San Diego, unit number 47. See, mine is a little light on the chrome on this side. It's all right. I got another one somewhere. I'm going to take a look over here. And, sorry about that. Same base, no detail difference. Same stuff. All right, we're going to move on to the next one. Now, this one is just a generic livery. Now, when we walk through these, I want you guys to remember, this is every version of the models. Every time we go over a model in this series, it's every single one to date. So if you're missing one, this is also kind of a up-to-date at the same time, okay? We'll let that rotate just for a second. Obviously, this looks fantastic. This looks exactly like a real Firetruck. It's not a big deal that it's a generic. Not so much the next one we get to, but this one is still really good. We'll bring that up. So this is the Metropolitan City Fire Department. Just, Matchbox's own logo in there. 58. If you're a Matchbox fan, you should know what that number represents. That'll tell you who made this deco. Really, really nice. It's super important having the print on the ladder, in my opinion. Not all the Pierces got it, but most of them did. And then, of course, same on base. Now, this next version, this came out in a Mission Force pack. So that explains a little bit why the deco's a little out there, a little crazy. It's not the end of the world, but it's definitely not realistic. I don't like the red ladder either. I think the red ladder is definitely an oddball. Should not be there. But at least we still get printing on the ladder, you know. And of course, we still get all the chrome because the chrome's good. Chrome is always good. So this is what I mean. This is just a generic. Now, see if you look at this tampo, you see it looks kind of grainy. So this is inkjet printing. This is definitely a more premium print version. A lot of Hot Wheels premiums use this stuff too. So I prefer this type of printing myself. But that's just me. Everybody can have their own opinions. All right, we're going to go on to the next one now. You may think that this model is familiar. Because yes, this deco did come out last year. I think it was last year. In the Real Working Rigs line. Now, it was kind of a smack in the face to longtime Matchbox collectors because this was a mail-in promo many years ago, and this promo consisted of 4 emergency vehicles. So it was this. It was one of the Pierce Velocities, which we'll get to. It was also the E1 Command Center, and then one of the generics. So there's 4 models. They were a pain in the butt. You had to mail in for them. At the time, Matchbox was just not selling anything. They weren't even offering Real Working Rigs at the time that this came out as a promo. So it was just, there was a lot of frustration. So for those of whom got them, it was a big deal. It was a big deal. Now, this one here is the one that Matchbox re-released. So I have both. Now, this was the original. Okay, so your original is going to be, I was looking for the base code, there it is. So H20 is your original. And then the one that came out, I believe, last year. So much chrome. In 13. Okay, now, I have both of these for a reason. So the new one is a much darker red. Okay, a little bit different on almost every color shade of the tampos as well. The deco itself is exactly the same though. Exactly. There's no difference in the deco. However, the new one is definitely much darker than the original. But like I said, there's no difference between the decos other than that. Even the ladder truck on the top here. I don't know if I can get that to show up on the camera very well. Even the red on those it's different. So I guess you'd have to be a crazy nut to want to do both of these. When I say I have every real working rig ever, literally every one, even if it's a re-release, it still goes in the collection. And we'll get to those as the series moves on. Okay, so that wraps up the Pierce Quantum aerial ladder. So that's every version released so far. Hope you guys find something new, something there you didn't know. Maybe you didn't know you were missing one or not. And now we're going to move on to the Velocity 100-foot platform. This is by far a way better working rig than the other one. This one's just beefy. It's big. It's just a substantial model. It has a lot more movability to it, even though it still has just your basic ladder on it. It's just a fantastic model. There's a couple of things about this model that I have some friends that don't like, and I'll talk about that here in just one second. I think it's just kind of crazy nitpicking in my opinion. So this is City of Willard. I believe this is a licensed deco. So one of the things that I have a friend that doesn't like is, so if you look how the wheel arches kind of cut into the doors on the sides, he kind of complains about that. And realistically, they should have just not done that, but that's what happens when you're using a one-size wheel for many, many models. So obviously this one has, the ladder goes up and the ladder rotates. And then, of course, as I showed you previously in the batch B, the ladder goes all the way off the studio. It's pretty nice. And then, of course, still have all the awesome deco on the cab, and the cab is quote-unquote self-leveling. There's the model from the top. Here's your other side. Got print there in the grill. This is such a good model, man. This is just, man, this is one of the good ones. All right, here's your deets on the bottom, guys. We're working rig number 15. C12. That's when this model introduced itself, was in C12. Whatever year that was. All right, we're going to move on to the next one. This is an Earl B. Comfax. This is not a licensed deco. This is actually a tribute to Mr. Earl B. I don't remember exactly who he is. I don't remember the story behind it, or who with the deal, whatever it is. But I just know that this is kind of a tribute deco, I guess you could say. So the black cab was a little off on this one. I just kind of feel like it doesn't match. I love the fact that it's two-tone. It just doesn't really feel like it matches. I think maybe the ladder should have been black or something too. But this is still a really, really nice version. Really, really nice version. No more print in the grill on this one. Just flat out chrome, but that's okay. There's your details on the other side. Totally mirrored. And then on the base, it's the same. C28. We're going to move on to the third version. So this is Wilton County, I believe. I believe this one is a licensed deco. It's kind of hard to remember because sometimes they use some kind of obscure places or places that are not necessarily obscure. It's just a place I've never heard of. Let that rotate on there just once. Like I mentioned in my batch B review, this model, we've gotten 4 versions of this model since World Working Rigs came back. And I'll tell you once we get there. So we're still on the originals here. Just really, really good detail. Trying to get the focus in there a little bit. It's just such a good one. I love this one with the eagle and stuff on it. This one's such a good version. Such a good version. This one, I believe, is a stamped number. Nope. It doesn't even look like we have a date code on this one. Very interesting. Very interesting. Okay. So there's our other version. I'm sorry, the other side. They're all other versions, right? They're all other versions. All right. We're going to move on. So this was the last version of the original release of Real Working Rigs for this model. This one is a very, very nice metallic deep red. Just wicked cool. And see, so if this one would have had the black cab on it, that would have been awesome. So now the white cab looks a little off. Just my opinion. Just my opinion. Pull this one up here and we'll take a look at it. This one is, I believe this one is also generic. Can't quite get the logo there. But I'm pretty sure this one's just a generic, which is fine. Looks very, very good. That awesome deep metallic red. And of course, print all over the ladders, as you'd expect. Really, really, really dig the white line through here. And then the unit number back here looks really, really good. This is definitely one of my favorite versions by far. Not my favorite, but Definitely one of my favorites for sure. And then this one, F21. Get that out, turn around for you guys. So F21, in case you want to match up the years to when it came out. Now, we're going to move on to the reintroduction of Real Rigging Rigs that came out about 2.5 years ago. 2.5 years, 2 years. Which was the greatest idea Matchbox team ever had. Kudos to you guys. You guys are totally my besties. Totally my besties. The one thing that you'll notice, though, for the first time ever, we lost chrome. We lost the chrome. Can you believe that? However, I actually like this nice contrast. This actually looks pretty decent. Pretty decent. Obviously, we lost the chrome because the Real Working Rig's coming back, and they had to be budgeted, and they had to figure out all that good stuff. The bad part is that this is a licensed deco. This is Roanoke, and it's unfortunate to have this gray that they use as a filler for chrome. I love it. It works on most models. It does look good on this, but just like I said, as as it being a licensed deco, it should add chrome. We also don't get any print on the ladder or the bucket, and it looks very plain. It looks very, very plain. So there you go. Roanoke ladder number 5. Love it. L24. There's your base code. Made in Thailand. They're all made in Thailand. Thank you, Thailand, for building these. I appreciate every one of you guys. Everything you do for the Matchbox brand. All right, so this is the second version of the Rebirth, I guess you could call it. I absolutely love this deco. I absolutely think this deco is fantastic. Love the gold wheels. I think it's perfect. Still not my favorite version, though. Still not my favorite version. But the gold wheels are awesome. They just... It's almost like this is decoed up to be like an anniversary fire truck or something like that. Of course, no deco on the ladder. Unfortunate. Life goes on. Unfortunately, it is what it is. But it's still a good version nonetheless. Jensen Fire Rescue. This is another licensed deco. This one's very, very nice. Very, very nice. This is definitely one of the best versions. This is probably my second favorite version. Especially because we got the print on the grill. We got the Pierce logo on the grill. A little bit of deco on the front. For not having the ladder deco, this thing is pretty slathered up. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. This model never ever had any decos on the rear. So if you were hoping to see that at some point in time, keep wishing upon a star, guys. All right. Now, this is version number 3. So San Diego Fire Rescue to go with San Diego Fire Rescue. Although they were done at way different times. This is your standard fire truck. San Diego fire trucks are just the red. Fire trucks are red. I think it's perfectly fine though. Love it. Love it that it's a licensed deco. I love that the print came back on the ladder. Very, very nice. Love that the fact that this top piece is still metal. I don't know how much longer that'll last. I'm pretty sure this is going to go to plastic. It may even be plastic on the next version. So let's note that. This is metal. Okay, so that's still metal. Love this deco. Love the American flags on it. Unit number 11. Front deco. No grill, but that's perfectly fine. Again, no deco on the rear. Okay. Mirrored back and paramedic unit. And M47. There you go. All right. Now we're going to move on to the last version of the Rebirth that I just did a unboxing of this, so I won't throw this on the rotator, dude. So just looking at this, still metal. Still metal. Still rocking the metal. So that's a very good sign. We'll see how long that lasts. Front deco, though, Side Deco, Snake Bend, Oregon. This is a licensed Deco. Very, very nice unit. A5 Aero unit. Again, I think the gold is perfect on this. There doesn't even need to be chrome on it because this is how it's supposed to be. So this is by far my favorite version, guys. In case you're wondering, this is my favorite version of this casting. By far. In 48. So there you go. Now, if you super aficionados are watching this, you're like, bro, you totally missed one. And bro, I totally didn't. So that is the mail-away version. To go with this other mail-away version. Okay. So this was the the Velocity version. I don't believe any one of the four were like any harder than the other ones per se. I think that they were available at different times throughout the year. If I remember correctly, I would gather if you had one of these or a few of these models still in the blister, they would probably command a pretty penny. But I don't, because I open everything and it was hard enough getting one of them, let alone getting multiples. So these are all generic decos, all of them, which is perfectly fine. They're all red, white, and blue. Matchbox Fire Department, which is perfectly fitting. I think it looks absolutely fantastic. We get front tampo. We get the ladder. We get the bucket. Get the chrome. I mean, they definitely didn't skip on these when they were doing these as mail-in promo. And this is a big deal. This is, $5 thing for a mail-in promo is a big deal. But I think you had to spend like $15 in singles to get this. So it wasn't exactly like the greatest ever. So H18, that's when this came out. So there you go. So that's the last version of the Velocity. I'm going to get these guys mixed up constantly. This is the Quantum. There we go. All right, guys. I'm going to throw those up there. Let those rotate. So that brings you up to speed on the Quantum and the Velocity platform from Pierce and the Matchbox World Working Rig line. I don't know how many parts this will be. It's going to take a lot. There's many models to get through. And I'm hoping at the end of the run, my buddy will loan me some of his prototype World Working Rigs that I can do a little bit of a bonus video at the end. So look for these to come out at least once a week, guys. Not going to rush through these, but we'll see how it goes. And I really enjoy this. This is my favorite thing for Matchbox. I think you guys are going to enjoy this too. So I'm going to roll out, level and diecast. Appreciate you watching. Love all you guys. Peace.